I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Father Time Network. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Anthony, and on my platform, I talk about how important it is to be a father. I'm here to make being a father cool again. But before I start, let's get into that intro. So today, I have something very, very special. In my efforts to grow this channel and take it to the heights that I know I can take it to, I decided to start doing interviews. And I wanted to get other people's opinions on how important it is to have a father. And man, I got a lot of interviews. Some people say they want to save the best for last. But this interview was one of the best, man. And I wanted to put this one out first because, man, you'll see what's going on. So let's get into this interview and we'll talk about it after.
Lock us in. What's going on? Here we go.
So my name is Anthony, right?
All right, Anthony.
So I got a company called the Father Time Network.
Okay. All right.
It's about the importance of being a father. I'm trying to make being a father cool again.
I love it.
So I'm trying to get 100 surveys. I'm down to 11. I'm giving out $5 for 3 questions.
All right,
Yeah.
run it.
Want
Let's
to
go.
participate?
I love it.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it. I
Let's
would
do
love
it.
to. Yeah.
My man said he'll participate.
I would love to.
So my first question is, how important do you think it is for a man to be a father to his kids?
I think it's the most important thing in the world. Honestly, I mean, the father gives the kids, the comfort and the responsibility aspects of the world. He gives them kids. He gives the responsible. Teaches them how to be a good person in the world, and that's why that's important because fathers are important in lives and they have a huge what's the word? They have a huge influence on their kids. Yeah, exactly. The way they teach them and how they work through the world and all that type of stuff. So that's why I think that's important.
So my second question is, how do you think a father and a mother can communicate better to support their kids?
I might have to bring in some help on this one, boys. What do you think?
I feel like there's a balance between, a mother and a father aspect in a relationship raising a kid. So I want to say that, having the balance between communication, being held accountable, and having the responsibilities as parents, raising a child. I feel like if a mother and a father are together as one as a team, I feel like they would raise a good kid and make him responsible, a good man in the world.
That's great.
I like that.
And my last question is there anything that y'all would like to say to y'all fathers?
Personally, I don't have a father.
You don't got a father?
I don't have a father. No.
Yeah, and I can feel on that because my dad passed in 2021. So I mean, having that presence of a father was definitely big on the influence, and definitely not having him was pretty big in my life. So I mean, I feel like if anyone has a father out there, definitely appreciate because you don't ever know when he's gone. So I mean, if it's a big thing. Having a father is definitely a big influence in your life. So I think that appreciating them, listening to them, being responsible, and being accountable as a human being, listening to your parents is a great way to live.
And here at the Father Time Network, I want to personally say I'm sorry for y'all loss.
Appreciate it.
Losing y'all father. I know that's gonna be a hard thing.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all participating with me.
Yes, sir.
There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Sir.
I appreciate that, boss. I appreciate it.
Okay. You good, sir? This the Father Time Network. We're gonna make being a father cool again.
There we go.
Let's do it.
Appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah.
This interview right here, it just touched me. Both of those young men not having fathers and they were college students. When we first was doing the interview, I interviewed several people in that store and they were just like staring at us. And I told, my friend, I said, yo, what's going on with these guys over here? They just staring at us. Every interview, they just was right there. So I said, you know what? It's something drawing me to these kids. I'm interview them next. And my man was like, shit, we over there. So when I approached them, they was just, as you can see, they was with it. They was anxious to tell their story and give their testimony when it comes to, a father. And for two of those boys not to have fathers in their lives, And it touched me, man. You could hear it in them. One was like, man, I don't got no father. And the other one was like, man, I can relate. I lost my father in 2021. Like, that's rough, man. And you heard what he said. That was a big influence in my life, man. I still wish that my dad was still here. So I want to touch a little bit on the things that was said in that interview. One of the main things was influence. How a father's influence is needed in a child's life. You got so many fathers out here that's fighting to be in their child's life. And to me, that shows how much these men are dedicated to their children. But you have some women that make it difficult. And I hope that this channel enlighten some of these women that's keeping these good men from being involved in their child's life. Because you have two young men right here who lost their fathers. And you could, like, I don't know if y'all could see it, but I was up close and personal with these guys. And I had a conversation with them off camera. And man, not having a father in their lives, man, it really did something to them. And you can see it in the interview. I don't know if y'all can, but you can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their eyes. They're not having their fathers, man, it was big. So to all the women that have men that's really trying and reaching out to be in their child's life, yeah, that man may have did whatever he did in the relationship. He may not have been a great partner, but that don't mean that he's not a great father. As an adult, learn how to separate the two, because that father being absent in that child's life, that's going to have a big influence on those in that child's life. And you heard it, not from me. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing these interviews, because I don't want you to just listen to what I'm saying. I want y'all to get it from the public. These are college kids, and they're letting the world know, not having my father hurt, man. My father is a big influence in my life. Secondly, one of the kids said having a father teaches a young man, a young woman, how to be a good person. Again, if you got a father that's, going back and forth to court, he's constantly reaching out. He's constantly letting the world know, hey, man, I want to be in my child's life. He's depressed because he's not in his child's life. That's a good man. And having a good father, having a good mother is also going to show your child how to be a good person. If you two as adults can learn how to put your differences aside, that's going to show your child how to put their differences aside and move towards the good, not the evil, and try to hurt somebody because you're hurt or somebody may have done something to you. Everybody is not perfect in this world. Everybody makes mistakes. So again, if a man wasn't the best in a relationship, that don't mean that he's not the best when it comes to being a father to his children. I also want to talk about balance. You heard these young men say balance. It has to be a balance when it comes to a mother and a father. If the relationship ended or if the relationship is still active, there has to be a balance. A woman has to let a man be a father. If I'm being a father to my kids, my boys, I'm a little hard on them, don't step in and tell me to soften up. Let me be a man. Let me be a father. Let me show my boys how to become men. Yeah, if they not doing what they supposed to do, I might make them do some push-ups. But guess what? That's making them stronger. That's making them disciplined. So as a woman, you may not understand a man's tactic when it comes to him raising and disciplining his child. But let that man do what he needs to do as a father. Don't come in between that. That's ruining the balance, because you want to be a mother, but when it comes to me being a father, you also want to step in. That's not balance. When I'm being a father to my children, let me be a father. When you're being a mother, I'm going to let you do the same. That's balance. I'm not overstepping my boundaries when it comes to your parenting. Don't overstep the boundaries when it comes to my parenting. That's balance. You're hearing it from young children, from young adults, should I say. You're hearing it straight out their mouth. Fourthly, I want to talk about being a team. You heard what the young man said. It takes a team. And that also is, the same as balance. It takes a team. It takes us working together to raise these children. I see so many adults, man, hold grudges and want to get back at the other parent for what they did in the relationship. That's personal. When it comes to raising these babies, it takes a team. Let's put the personal stuff aside and do what's best for the babies. Let's be a team and do what's best for our children. Talking about me behind my back to the children, I'm talking about you behind your back to the children. That's not being a team. Being a team is we're going to work together. One of the things I always tell my daughter, I'm not going to talk bad to you about your mother. I don't do that. When me and my daughter are together, me bad mouthing her mother is never a topic. We're talking about us. What can we do to make our relationship better? What is your goals in life? What can I do to help you with that? I'm not here to bad mouth your mother. If me and your mother want to bad mouth each other, we're going to do that towards each other. But when the child is around, we're not doing that. That's a bad influence, right? So, fifthly, I want to talk about the presence of a father in a child's life. You heard what the young man said. That's big. Those two young men didn't even have fathers in their lives. But you have young children, young adults with fathers still living, and they have a hard time being in their child's life. You have two young men right here who don't even have a father. One father passed away. I don't know what happened to the other young man's father. I didn't get deep into that. But one of them solely said, I lost my father. That was big. So if children have fathers that's living, that's breathing, that's reaching out, trying to be into their child's life, why is it so difficult for them to do that? To all you women, man, listen, this is 2025. The world is starting to get crazy. Let's start making it a thing where you're letting these men be fathers to their children. Please. Don't wait till that man is dead and say, oh man, your father was a good guy. I'm so sorry that I held grudges. Don't wait till that man is in a casket. Put your differences aside. Be a woman and let that man see his children. To all the men, step up to the plate. Don't leave that woman to take care of those kids by herself. You see her struggling. Those are your kids. Step up to the plate. Fuck the club. Fuck your friends. Go get you some money legally so you don't put yourself in jail and be away from your kids and take care of your babies, man. That's very important. Take care of your babies, man. It's nobody else's responsibility to take care of your kids. That's your responsibility. You may not like the woman. It is what it is. You laid down with her and had these babies. So now step up to the plate and take care of them. Man, I just want to say again, man, to those young men, if y'all watching this channel, like, I appreciate y'all getting on my platform, telling y'all story. And I felt it, man. For real, man. I felt it, man. Those two young men not having fathers in their lives, it makes me want to be that much greater of a father to my kids. I ain't out here trying to do nothing that's going to put me in jail and keep me away from my babies, man. I want to grow old. I want to be pop. I want to see my kids have kids. That's the win for me. I've seen so many of my friends lose their lives to the streets, man, into the prison system and leave their kids behind. And you don't really hear them talking about that. It's because they're trying to disguise that pain. They're trying to hide it. Especially the ones that grew up without no father. You know how that hurt. You know how that affected you. I'm an 80s baby. Most of my friends grew up without no father. We was raised by our mothers. And had we had fathers, man, our lives probably would have been that much more better. This the Father Time Network, and I'm here to make being a father cool again.